Now I like to bend this. I bend it and then I swipe it. I swipe it and then I wipe it. So I always try to work with my hands on the inside. So if you just like press against the walls from the outside, it might collapse the walls and push in. So if I want to blend this area right here, I'm pushing out from the inside with my opposite hand. So wherever I'm applying pressure, I always have a hand supporting from the inside. Okay. And then as I wipe that once, you see that clay that builds up right there? And I swipe that off. Because if I don't do that step, I just kind of put that clay booger back on somewhere else and it just kind of turns into a mess. So what I want to do is just kind of get rid of some of the dents and stuff. And this will start to clean up pretty quick. If you do get areas where you feel like you have a thin spot, remember, like I said yesterday, you can always just slip and score and add some clay back in. So again, I bend it a little bit, hand on the inside, I swipe it, and then I wipe it, and then I rotate. Now the opposite side too, sometimes I have to pick this up and kind of attack it from a different angle. So in this case, I'm probably just going to swipe up. So swipe it and wipe it. And this initial step is just to kind of get rid of some of the major dents and fingerprints and stuff. My project right now, it feels not quite leather hard. It kind of feels pleather hard. So that's getting close. It's past that workable state. It doesn't really feel sticky. This is what I mean. Like if you were trying to do this step when your clay is like really soft and sticky and flimsy, it's probably not going to work so well. I think one of the challenges with being a ceramic artist is just kind of controlling the wetness and dryness of the clay, making sure it's at the state that you need it to be on. If I'm on the potter's wheel, obviously that clay has to be wet. But if it gets too wet, it falls apart. So I got to work quickly. And if I'm doing hand building, sometimes initially I want the clay to be soft, but at some point I want to lock in that form, so to speak. So like right there, I can tell yesterday I must have been really cruising. I don't know if I blended that little part right there really well. So let me just add a little piece of clay. I'm going to take a little chunk, just a little bit of water on my finger. I do want to slip and score just to be on the safe side here. So if I have little dents, I'm like, uh-oh, I'll just add some clay in right there. I'll blend that in. All right, all right. And then I can come back over it with this Target gift card and smooth that out. Okay, now step 2. You can see I started to smooth this out a little bit. It's getting there. Just using this Target gift card. Now, if you have to, you can do this you can get this totally smooth just by swiping it. But I want to show you a technique that I bet a lot of you could do at home just by using a paddle. If you have any old just block of wood laying around, a lot of people will have like 2x4s in their garage. You could just cut down a 6-inch piece of wood. Let me just show you the technique. So again, if you have any block at home, that will work. And remember, I'm up here at the school. If you want to have a block of wood, if you're like, oh, I need that, just swing by the high school. I can give you a block of wood. I've got a miter saw here over there in the room, so I can dice up a bunch of 2x4s. And if anyone just wants a block of wood for this step, I can certainly give you one. You know where to find me, A101, like every day. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to go along and just basically paddle this close up. So I got my hands on the inside. My hands are on the inside of this pot, and then I just kind of paddle a little bit on the outside. So I'm pushing out from the inside, and I paddle it, and then I rotate it, and I paddle it. And so some of those dents, they just get popped out, like popping out a dent in your car. So it pushes the clay that's outwards, inwards, and then the clay that's at the bottom of that dent kind of gets pushed to the front. There we go. So you can see that really smooths out that surface. And then I can come in here, and I can give it a couple taps here and there and try to get this thing symmetrical. So I got that top part fairly symmetrical. I want to keep this opening big enough for now where I can get my hand in there so I could even flip it over and do the bottom half of this. But again, I'm pushing against wherever I'm paddling, my hand is on the inside of this, just supporting it so I don't just crush the walls. So I feel like I got the bottom half of that really smoothed out. And now I want to spend a little bit of time on that transition between the in and the out. So I'm gonna paddle this on the bottom and the top and just kind of push out from the inside and round that out a little bit. Okay. And then I might even revisit this Target gift card. So now that I've got things paddled out even more, it's a little bit easier to come in now and really get things smooth. So I swipe it and then I wipe it. I bend this a little bit. I put it on there at like a tangent, like almost parallel and flat with the surface. Okay. And again, if you do have any dents where you're like, oh man, I just can't seem to get that out, you can always add clay. Like right here, if I'm struggling getting that little dent out, I can always slip and score. So I can take a little bit of water right there, scratch that one little dent up, add a little piece of clay. There we go, blend that in, and then use my Target gift card to smooth that out. Just paddle that. There we go. So I kind of do that on any dents that are like kind of deep and I can't really just blend them away. I might have to add some clay. So then I'll continue to just kind of work on it. I like to do this while I'm holding it. I think it's kind of tricky if you're always on the table because you can only like approach it from the top. So obviously I want to kind of like get it from underneath. Sometimes I'll even set it upside down. That'll kind of help me see what needs to be symmetrical and see where I might need to add some clay to smooth things out. You want to try to make this as symmetrical and smooth as you can. So we're using the Target gift card to swipe away some of the bumps and dents. And then if you have any kind of board, so you could use this too.